Controversial opinion, but I don't think that The Handmaid's Tale or the Testaments really engages very meaningfully with religion. My name is Rebecca. I study religion and violence and have recently completed my doctorate. So let's talk about it. Watch one episode of Netflix The Unchosen and also read some of the interviews because the showrunner, Julia Gurney, she actually interviewed people who left high control religious groups. These are small niche groups that kind of have their own way of doing things, that run their own communities. And she was able to explore a bunch of different groups, and also she listened to survivor testimony. So, The Unchosen depicts one specific fictional high control religious group. The Handmaid's Tale slash the Testaments are trying to recreate a political regime based on novels written by Margaret Atwood, who did do her research. Unfortunately, what happens is when you're trying to portray politics and government on a large scale, what they effectively convey is that this is a government system. This is a way of doing politics. This is a regime. These are the mechanisms of that regime. They do not have, and they do not really flesh out religion or spirituality. Everything is in terms of this big civic religions sphere that is the state. What individuals believe and how they practice is okay. For example, you don't really see religious services in The Handmaid's Tale. You see rituals inspired by religion used to, for example, murder certain characters in ways that depict religious overtones, or their religious rituals that are kind of like clearly made up for television, because nobody naturally just stands around in the circle, holds hands, and looks menacing and says chants so successfully. Like, there's something missing in this world, and if they had fleshed it out a little bit more, maybe it would be more convincing to people who A, study, or B, come from religious groups that have these specific beliefs that lead to these situations. And I'm not saying they're not doing a good job. I'm just saying that this is not something that they baked into the planning and the conceptualization of this world, because they're focusing on something completely different.